one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. It's gotta mean something to you. It gotta mean something. Everything you got. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2-3. 1, 2, 3. Finish.
Cashing in, say, the way Liv did, well, that's like winning the lottery, isn't it? And I don't need to win the lottery because I work my ass off every week for a paycheck.
Welcome to another episode of Wrestling with Saint. We are back. I told you, bro, I'm on the road to the new WrestleMania that's coming up. I don't even remember. I think this was WrestleMania 41 that just passed. I told myself, I said, I'm going to commit to breaking down and recapping wrestling all year leading up to WrestleMania 42. Now, I have already missed I think a month's worth of shows. I could be exaggerating right now, over-exaggerating. I'm not sure. Doesn't matter. Does not matter. I did not drop a WrestleMania Night 2 recap. Does not matter. Night 2 really didn't move me as much as I thought it would. Listen. We are back. Now, if you don't listen to me break down a wrestling show in the past, this shit is all about to change. This is about to change. Because it's a couple things that I done come to the realization of, and it's a couple things that I am no longer moved by, and it's a couple things that just sitting down, talking to myself, I realize I'm not trying to be all teachy and shit when I do this wrestling thing. Wrestling is fun. It's supposed to be an entertaining thing. For those people who just refuse to allow themselves to be immersed in wrestling and would rather hate the wrestlers and talk crazy to them, and because they like one wrestler, they hate all the other. Listen, I done come to the conclusion, it does not matter how logical you try to be with people, no matter how you tell people, how many times you tell these type of fans that this is a weird way to be, they will not change. So I'm just going to speak to the people who enjoy wrestling the same way that I do, okay? Now, I might go in and out of consciousness when it comes to talking about those specific type fans, but for the most part, in order to keep the energy up and get through what I'm trying to get through with these shows, I gotta be an individual who learns to ignore that type of behavior from fickle wrestling fans. With that being said, I appreciate you for joining me, man. If this is your first time, I appreciate you. Stick around. You might be saying, yo, this dude's mic isn't that great. It's not. I don't have the greatest mic. I don't have the greatest setup. This is you could tell by the views. And the subscribers. This is a low, we in the basement, basically. We one of the YouTube's basement shows. You know what I'm saying? If you find us and enjoy us, you become a part of the little cult that we have. But one day we hope to be bigger. We hope to grow the audience. You know what I'm saying? But right now we are what we are. So we have what we have, and we trying to make it happen. You know? You can respect that. You can respect that hustler's ambition. If you can't, apologize. You're free to go somewhere else. I was told by somebody, never tell your fans to leave. But if you have to suggest leaving to somebody, are they really a fan? We talking in riddles right now. Listen. Friday Night Smackdown. I don't know specifically at the moment of recording the exact date. I'm not even sure what the month is, to be completely honest with you. Doesn't matter. Listen to me. Happy birthday. Somebody's birthday is out there. So happy birthday. But we got to talk about Friday Night Smackdown. Now listen, believe it or not, I actually done recorded a couple wrestling shows the last couple weeks. I just hadn't released any of them because I didn't like the overall show. It was like, the overall show I might have liked, but it was like an hour worth of content in the show, or not even an hour. It was like 20-30 minutes worth of content in the show that I did not like. And instead of it being like a segment that I could have just cut out, it was like everywhere. So, you know, I had to not release those. But now We in a whole new. I just made a cake tonight, yo. I just thought about that. I made a chocolate cake tonight, and instead of using water, I used milk for the first time. And I'm just here to tell you, I really don't taste the difference. Now, I didn't make this cake from scratch. I do want to learn how to make cake from scratch one day. I want to learn how to make cakes and, well, I know how to make box cakes and shit like that, but I don't know how to make like my own cake from scratch. Somebody like, yo, what the fuck is this dude talking about? Listen, bro, calm down. I want to learn how to make cakes. I want to learn how to make specific cakes. I want to learn, and if you learn how to make cakes, I feel like that in turn you'll learn how to make like muffins. And I'm not really a muffin guy, to be honest with you. Like, no, let me change that. I am a muffin guy, but I'm more of a cake muffin type guy, and I'm also a don't put real fruit in my muffins type of guy. So I'm one of them dudes who like the Eggo. So I don't buy Eggo waffles, but you know how Eggo's blueberry waffles got basically like a blue syrup in it, not like actual blueberries. The strawberry got strawberry syrup, not a strawberry in it. That's my type of groove. I'm not a fan of real fruit in my shit. I am a artificial fan, bro. Artificial me to fuck up. Now that's gonna be very disturbing to hear for a lot of health freaks out there. I do not care. I do not care. I promise you. Well, for one, saying that, I know some people might be like, yo, this dude gotta be like a 300 pounder out of shape. I promise you I'm not. I weigh 200 pounds. Not fat. If you are on the bigger side out there, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, I mean, in some circumstances, it's unhealthy. Like Big Dank DeMoss, whatever her name is, that's unhealthy. I'm not gonna lie to you. That is super unhealthy. And I'm not really trying to hear people like, I don't preach. Like, I'm not finna be walking around telling every big boned person that they unhealthy. I just know from my own experiences watching my own mom go through her health battles throughout her life and how her health was affected by her weight and how she continued to lose weight in order to get healthier. I just know how much healthy you can be when you lose excess weight and whatnot. But, you know, I'm not walking around telling everybody you need to be skinny. I'm just saying it's healthier ways to live. And I watched my mom go through health things, and I watched her get healthy as she lost a lot of her weight. And it was funny because one day last year we had found an old picture of my mom, and we was looking at it, and she looked just so much. You could just see how skinny, like how much skinnier my mom done got from where she was and she always looked healthy. Like my mom never was like my mom ain't never touched 300 pounds. My mom ain't never touched 280. Like my mom ain't never been like some crazy weight, but I'm just saying, like, it is people out there who walk around at like 300 and shit. And that's, you know, to each their own, but that is a bit unhealthy. You know, obese. I'll never forget this. Okay, I'm getting off on a tangent because I was about to tell a whole nother story about this dude in high school. I'm going to tell it. I remember I was in high school and it was this dude named Brandon. Was that his name? Yeah, that was his name. He was the only white dude in the high school. And he, I don't even remember what we was doing projects. I done told this story on this channel before, but I don't remember what we was doing, presenting. Like, I don't remember what the task was. I'm so removed from, school. I haven't sat in a classroom in God knows how long. But I remember that day when we was in class, like I said, I don't remember the project or what we was presenting, but I remember him talking about obesity. And at the end of his thing, he said something around the effect of obesity is yada, 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 something. And this is why I am obese. When I tell you, everyone in the class was fighting tears, fighting every bone in their body not to laugh at this man. Because I had never to that point heard somebody stand in front of a classroom and take a shot at themselves, point blank range. It was crazy behavior. To this day, I still remember that. But anyways, we got off on a little tangent right there. It started off with me talking about I made a cake tonight. Oh, yo, but like I was saying, yo, the milk water thing, I don't know what the difference was, Brody. I need to go online and see how you can make box cakes even better, because I like the box cake. I'm just saying, like, how would you even spruce it up even more? Because I went online and they said if you add milk instead of water, then it give it more of a homemade taste. And I'm confused. Maybe I haven't had box cakes in so long that I don't remember what the box cake tastes like. Because I'm almost certain that the water, now that I'm really thinking about it, like, and you know what? Also, I don't like chocolate cake. And this is a triple chocolate fudge cake because the only fucking thing they had in the store, this cheap ass store, the only thing they had for cake mixes was like white, yellow, vanilla, and strawberry and chocolate. Now, usually I would have got strawberry because I actually love strawberry cake. The reason I didn't get strawberry was because they didn't have lemon icing. I wanted to do a strawberry lemonade cake, but they didn't have lemon icing, so it took me completely out of it. Oh, they had a confetti cake. No, they didn't have confetti cake. They just had the confetti. No, they did have confetti cake, but the brand of confetti cake that they had there, I wasn't a fan of because it tastes too waxy. But I do fuck with confetti cake. I don't know why it tastes as good as it do, but it definitely tastes good. What's crazy is I remember growing up, my favorite cake growing up was two different cakes. It was the yellow cake with the fudge icing, because it felt like that was what we had at every church event or cookout. And then it was the confetti cake with the confetti icing for birthday. That's what I had for like every single birthday in a silver pan. I remember one time my mom was a teacher, and at her school they used to do an event for every Halloween week. They did like a Halloween, like the Friday night of the week. They did like this. As soon as the day ended, they decorated the whole school. They had like every class, different classrooms had events going on, like a cakewalk. It was food being served in the cafeteria, like fish fry and hot dogs and hamburgers. Like, it was like a whole event. I can't remember what it's called because my mama did it for, looking back, I didn't have like some rich childhood where I just did, but man, when I look back at the things that my mom allowed me to do with her, like the moments that I got to do different things with my mama, so dope, bro. Like, cause I'm thinking about the thing, like, cause my mom is not healthy now, so she can't do a lot of the shit that she used to do. So I'm thinking back at the times where she was healthy and always doing shit every day, watching her wake up, go to work all the time. And the events that she let us go to with her, I'm just looking back at it now. Hella dope. Hella dope. But anyways, enough of me reminiscing and rambling. We got to get to Smackdown. Tonight on Smackdown, we started off the show with Damian Priest and LA Knight. Now, I was walking in my room as they were talking, but I'm glad I got to see LA Knight do his talking at the end. LA Knight could have cut a great promo last week on Damian Priest, and he cut a good promo to start the show this week to go out there and have his match. Now, it was LA Knight and Damian Priest taking on Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu. I don't know if we still call that the Bloodline. Like, I'm not quite sure where the Bloodline is at this moment, but I'm gonna just call them Solo and Jacob Fatu. Now, this whole little thing, including Drew McIntyre, who wasn't in this match, but we'll get to Drew, that's the USA title picture, and I'm actually happy that that's the USA title picture. So back in the day when I was growing up watching wrestling, I think one of the best things about wrestling is when you got all this talent. Because back in the day when I was growing up watching wrestling, I grew up during the Attitude Era, but I watched the Attitude Era, PG Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era. I watched all of it. One of the best things about, I want to say, having so many great talents on the roster at the same time is when you have a whole bunch of different titles and you basically section off different groups of wrestlers to be associated with that title in every storyline dealing with that title. And they all make that title feel important. Because so if you done ever played a WWE 2K game, on the old 2K games, because I haven't played one in a minute since they changed the controls, but on the old 2K games, they might still have it now. For all the titles that you have in My Universe mode, like, so say you're doing your own little My Universe mode and you setting up the title pictures. You can put the wrestlers that you want to compete for that title and to be involved with that title. You can put them, basically select them and put them in that category. So you have your wrestlers that you want competing for the main title, the wrestlers you want competing for that next title, and so on and so forth. I like the idea of honing in on that and really focusing in on that. So the the USA title picture, having LA Knight, Solo, Jacob Fatu, Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. I don't think they should put anybody else in that feud or in that title picture until we have squeezed and extrapolated all the juice we can get from those figures. Because I feel like there's so many stories that you could tell with just those guys. There's so many things that you could do with just those guys. You don't have to bring in anybody else and convolute things because of how good this shit is already. For one, I already think this group of dudes make each other better already. Because Fatu is great on the mic. LA Knight is great on the mic. Drew McIntyre has gotten better on the mic. Drew McIntyre cut a great promo tonight after the match when he was talking about Jacob Fatu being all gas, no brakes, and eventually you run into a wall. I like that promo. I like LA Knight's promos the last 2 weeks. Even though we know LA Knight is great on the mic, his last two things, I love it when he told Damian Priest, like, don't project your losses on me. Like, LA Knight also, well, I'll get to that in a minute, but LA Knight has been great on the mic. Jacob Fatu at the end of the night when Solo Sikoa was talking to him, and he just, that energy, just listing them down. Like, Jacob Fatu, that he is the badass of WWE right now. Like, I love that energy. What's so beautiful about it, though, is the same thing that make you love Jacob Fatu, you could, if you a wrestling fan and you done seen this thing for a long time, it's very easy to see him losing that title because of how great he is. So the same thing that make him great is the same thing that I can see costing him that title. Just like Drew McIntyre said. And this is why it was some things that happened tonight on SmackDown that I thoroughly enjoyed. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed. I think SmackDown is already about to be better than, if I don't already believe it, tonight definitely pushed me into believing SmackDown is going to be the better show right now because of the things that happened on SmackDown tonight. Resetting Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest, in a sense of resetting that feud and freshening it up by putting them in this with these other guys in the LA Knight feud, and refreshing LA Knight and Solo and Fatu's feud, because you basically merge them all together and now you get something completely different on it. That's dope. And all of these dudes work great together. They all them put on great matches against each other. The only caveat for me when it comes to these four is Damian Priest. Damian Priest to me is not on the same level as any of these other niggas, even though he is a champion. Like, he done won the main title. And it's not even that I don't think he on their level. My problem is I don't think he is that great on the mic. But I don't think he's terrible on the mic. I don't believe him when he talk on the mic. But not even just that. I'm really BSing right now because my biggest problem with Damian Priest is his moveset. I don't know what it is, but a nigga that big should not have that type of move. And I understand that I'm not trying to dumb Damian Priest down and say he should only wrestle like a big man. But he damn near don't have any big man impact type moves. Like, it's like he trying to be this acrobatic type wrestler. Like, and it looked good for Aleister Black. Like, Aleister Black, he looked fluid. It looked clean. So what he do, I see that's what Damian Priest is going for, but it just don't look as good as Aleister Black make it look. Aleister Black also is not I don't look at him as a big guy like a Damian Priest. Damian Priest not having no impact big man moves is so annoying. Which is exactly why when I look at him and Drew, I know he is as big as Drew, but I just don't look at him as a big dog like Drew. And I talk a lot of shit about Drew. It's not in like a I hate Drew or nothing like that. I talk as far as like the wrestling wise, like me going into character. But Drew, I look at Drew and I think to myself, yeah, that's a big dude. Like that. I don't see it with Drew, with Damian, because his moveset make me think of a smaller wrestler. I don't know what it is, man. I just be completely honest. I'm not a fan of Damian Priest's moveset. But I do like this. Damian Priest will get better because he is in this what do I want to call this? This cocoon of greatness with all these other wrestlers. Fatu, Solo, Drew, Damian Priest, LA Knight. And, you know, I saw somebody today say LA Knight might turn heel because of all this. LA Knight kind of is like a tweener at the moment, but I wouldn't mind seeing him go full heel. I like LA Knight. I remember him when I was going to call him Eli Drake. I remember when he was Eli Drake in TNA. I really like LA Knight. So I think it took me a minute to catch on to the LA Knight. I'm not going to lie. It took a long time for that to catch on for me. LA Knight also just looked better and better in the ring each week. I don't know what it is. It looked like he done picked it up in the ring for some reason. He always done been a good in-ring guy, but I don't know. It feel like dudes is going. They really going in the ring right now. And I think it's because it's perfect pairing in some of these ends. Now, listen, I'm always talking about how I don't think Triple H is a great booker, and I don't think it's a lot of things that I say about Triple H. But this right here, this cocoon of greatness, I like it. I really do. I like these 5 wrestlers, however many wrestlers it is. I can't think of it off the top of my head. I'm not really looking at the number of them. And matter of fact, let's just Drew, Dame, Solo, Fatu, and who else I'm thinking of? I'm forgetting somebody. It's either 4 or 5 guys, bro. It doesn't really matter. But the match ended in a I was looking at something. I had wrote something down. I was like, that is not how that match ended. I was reading the wrong thing. But the match ended with LA Knight pinning Solo Sikoa. Solo Sikoa went for the Samoan spike, and LA Knight reversed it. You know, I was watching the end of this match, right? And I said to myself, man, that's pretty dope that LA Knight just picked up this win. I like LA Knight picking up this win because I know Solo Sikoa is the young wrestler. And so naturally, a lot of people would think, oh, Solo should be the one to get put over. That should not matter when you are trying to build a great story and a great feud. That's one of the things that annoys me that people done to, and I'm going to get to it in a couple, but what people have done to some of these women wrestlers, and it's specifically the men, the only time it's the women is when they are stans of a certain woman wrestler, and I know that can get annoying because I see how Nikki stands disrespect everybody, every other woman thing in the world. So I get how annoying that can be. But specifically, when I'm thinking about men who watch wrestling, who love John Cena and they love all these other men wrestlers, and they never complain about their spots on the card, but I'm watching them talk about these women wrestlers and them. How Charlotte should be losing the young wrestlers so they can put them up. Like this notion that all the fans feel like all these older wrestlers should be putting over the young wrestlers, to me is insanity. Because for one, Charlotte is not even old. Neither is Bianca or Bayley or Becky, bro. That's crazy to say just because they've been in the game a little bit longer. And they already at the top. And that's another thing that I think is happening right now too. Triple H keeps shooting certain women to the moon. Like cutting off their path, making it shorter than what Charlotte, Bayley, Becky, and matter of fact, hold up. I'm gonna get to that in a second, but I don't like this notion that it's okay for the older men wrestlers to pick up wins. Because I see dudes online bitching and complaining about LA Knight not winning matches all the time. But this is why I think that is a ridiculous thing to bitch and complain about. Because if it makes sense in the story, if it helps because wrestling at the end of the day is supposed to help both people. Wins and losses are not supposed to matter at the end of the day. Championships and all the stats and things like that, yeah, that's beautiful. But the wins and losses, the actual win-loss is not supposed to matter. The outcome, obviously, is a big thing. But at the end of the day, this dance that they do for however many minutes they do it before an outcome is determined, that's the most important thing. That's supposed to make both of them look good at the end of that. So when that's over, the outcome, we don't really care. Obviously, we care about a championship match, things of that nature. But at the end of the day, what you really want is for that to have been a great match, a great dance that helped move the story along or end the story properly or start up a great story. So, in that sense, I guess you could say, I got to stop reading and talking at the same time because I just lost track of what I was about to say because I'm reading this. You know, in my head, taking notes was a smart thing. But now that I'm sitting here reading the notes and trying to talk at the same time, I think that's like the third time I done cut off what I was finna say because I was reading something and trying to talk at the same time. And I'm doing it right now and forgetting what I was trying to say while I'm also trying to read. It's absolutely ridiculous. What was my but when the outcome or whatever, when the dance is great and it makes you not really care about the outcome because all of it moved the thing forward, that's why, you should lose because you're supposed to be putting over the younger. That's why that shit doesn't matter. Now, I understand if this is like the Undertaker coming back. That nigga shouldn't be coming back to pick up dubs over people. He should be coming back to take a L to put some talent over. I even understand if this was Randy Orton in his last 2 years of wrestling or something like that. But then again, John Cena, for one, it's so funny how John Cena's careers went, but it would be very easy for people to say John Cena should be putting over all the talent right now. But the story of what's happening with John Cena makes so much sense and it's so good that who cares about him putting over young talent right now? That's what I wish fans would understand. Get your personal feelings and how you love a wrestler and want them to be this and that. You got to get that out of the thing and just love the product or love what you are seeing. I'm not telling you got to love what they put out there, but I'm saying if you really just love wrestling, you wouldn't get in these situations where you hate everything so much. It's somebody who I saw on Twitter who hate Booker T. Like, she always get offended when Booker T do his noises to the women. And she always, like, try to paint him out to be, like, some sexual freak. And at this point, I'm just like, yo, you legitimately only watch to get mad at Booker T. Why? Why would you even do that to yourself? I don't know. It makes no sense. But the thing that I'm happy we got this little break in the show because next up was a R-Truth segment with him and Jimmy, where R-Truth was rocking with John Cena. Basically saying, like, you don't know what happened. You got to give John Cena the benefit of the doubt. Yada, yada, yada. I actually don't give a damn about that I was going to say R. Kelly. About that R-Truth segment. Because I actually want to take this little R-Truth. Because I actually was going, no disrespect to R-Truth. I had some things to say about this segment. Fuck this segment. Because I want to actually take this time to talk about something else that I saw today. Jonathan Coachman, you disrespectful, bald-headed fuck. I was on Twitter today. I don't really like being on Twitter. I'm not going to lie to you. I spend about 5 minutes on Twitter before I get off of it because the fact that middle and high schoolers are allowed to get on this product and talk the way they talk and say the things that they say and think the way they think is absolutely maddening. So I tend to not be on social media nowadays unless it's TikTok. And thank God my TikTok don't have the weird ass TikTok that would annoy the fuck out of me. But I saw this clip come through today on my timeline of Jonathan Coachman straight up disrespecting Bayley. And I just want to say something, because I saw some people in the comments talking about well, that's his opinion. It's his opinion. How can you be hating if it's just an opinion? Yo, I'm sick and tired of you niggas. At some point in time, when an opinion is so egregious, it's no longer an opinion. It is very clearly stupidity or hating, or both. Michael Cole saying that Bayley doesn't move the needle, doesn't sell tickets. She ain't this, she ain't that, she never been this, she ain't never been that. My nigga, I hope this is a work, because it's and the way he done talked about WWE in the past recently, I'm pretty sure it's not a work. This is a nigga who was comedic relief for The Rock back in the day. Like, you made your name off of being picked on by The Rock, my guy. But you're going to tell Bayley that she wasn't a needle mover, she didn't put butts in seats, she didn't, she doesn't provide anything to the roster. See, this is my problem when it comes to dudes. See, men, it's usually white men. However, I'm not foolish. Men as a whole get to do this a lot. It's just white men got more leeway when it comes to it. But men being able to get on these podcasts and just say stupid shit, and you got a lot of young dudes, young, influential, like young dudes who are vulnerable and they want to be inspired by whatever type of shit they hear. And so they hear this type of nonsense and they start thinking the same shit. And that's exactly why you have a great portion of the male audience that disrespect the women wrestlers the way they do. I done seen the crowd disrespect the women wrestlers by not giving them the simplest of reactions in certain segments, by giving them no reactions when they go out there and wrestle. If they not one of your favorites out there, they can put on a 5-star match and you won't hear a single "this is awesome" chant. The type of ways that the crowd is chosen to disrespect the women wrestlers time and time again, to me, is only because you can have niggas like Jonathan Coachman go on a podcast or wherever the fuck it was he was at and disrespect women like Bayley the way he did. Because you can have other niggas get on these podcasts, and I don't care how you feel about Sasha Banks, but to disrespect her talent, her in-ring ability. I'll never forget that nigga who came out and was talking crazy about how Sasha Banks really wasn't that great in the ring. And then fans started to go on Twitter and say the same shit. I love WWE because Sasha Banks left the WWE. I'm not finna trash Sasha Banks' career. I don't watch AEW. I'm not finna trash Sasha Banks just because she chose to go to a company I don't watch. This notion of I'm protecting or I'm loyal to the brand that I watch, so I have to trash the other brand. That's crazy. And I know that's not has anything to do with coaching. That's a fan thing. But this notion that it is okay to disrespect and discredit these 4 certain women, Sasha, Bayley, Becky, Charlotte. The fact that people feel as though it is okay on a week-to-week basis to disrespect those 4 women consistently, loud, ignorantly. Like the way people talked about Charlotte going into WrestleMania. I pray I never have a daughter that has to experience anything like that. I pray my enemies never have a daughter that has to face that type of disrespect for doing their jobs. Like, it's absolutely insane. Could you imagine telling somebody that they would be one of the greatest to ever do it in their field, and that they birth a child and that their child would want to follow in their footsteps? Do you think that person would then say, "Nah, I don't want my child to be greater than me. I don't want them to be as great as me. I don't want them to follow in my foot"? You think that's what would happen if you told them they'd be great? Because essentially what everybody is doing is trying to trash Charlotte Flair and say, "Oh, it's nepotism is why she's gotten these opportunities." That's the thing that really annoys me. When you supposed to love wrestling, you supposed to like wrestling. I don't understand how you can say either of those two things if you hate Charlotte Flair, if you hate Bayley, if you hate Becky, if you hate Sasha. 4 women who have done so much, not for just wrestling, for women's wrestling. And I know some people say, well, what's the difference in wrestling women? Bro, I grew up watching wrestling. I know what women's wrestling was before Charlotte, Becky, Sasha, and Bayley came along. I know what women's wrestling was before they were putting on 5-star matches all the time and actually having great feuds just as good as the men. I have taken nothing away from Trish Stratus or the Litas or the Michelle McCools or the Laylas or the Victorias or the Beth Phoenixes or the Kelly Kellys. I'm not taking, or the Mickey James. I'm not taking the Gail Kims. I'm not taking away nothing from those women. But what Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley have done for women's wrestling is unmatched. Could those women before them have done it? Probably so. But the opportunity wasn't there for them to be able to do it. Now, that's not taking anything away from Sasha, Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley. It just is what it is. When that opportunity came along for those 4 women to change the game and move it forward in ways that it hadn't been moved forward and changed yet, they did it. So when I see somebody like Jonathan Coachman, who has provided essentially nothing to wrestling, I get annoyed, because it's easy to get on these podcasts and talk about these wrestlers that you don't got to see, or these athletes that you don't got to see, and feel like I'm just giving an opinion. But when the opinion is so blatantly disrespectful and so ignorant and so stupid, this is why people say they need to charge you an arm and a leg for this podcast equipment. Because, and this is, one of the worst things to happen to society is that they gave us a social media platform and YouTube and platforms like that to be able to share our open thoughts. Because some people are so fucking disrespectful that every open thought that they have is disrespectful or fucking stupid. But they don't feel that way, that it is. And it's a lot of niggas out there who don't feel that way either. So they post it all the time for the world to see. Unbelievable. After that match, though, to kick off the show, because I had got so sidetracked because I wanted to get to that. Shout out to Bayley, though. Shout out to Bayley, though. I love you, girl. But back to that first match of the night. Drew McIntyre Claymore Jacob Fatu after the match. Because after the match, Jacob Fatu fucked up everybody. And then and everybody means Damian Priest and LA Knight. Because these two niggas was getting into it after the match also. And eventually Drew got the Claymore. And that's when Drew dropped that promo that I was talking about earlier, when he was talking about all gas, no break. He did this. He made this little face basically acting like Fatu was stupid. I wanted to say that R word, but it was a funny little segment. It was a great promo by Drew. Following that, they did a lot of matches. They set up a couple matches tonight with segments in the back that led to a setup of a match. Or a match was happening and a segment was happening as the match was happening. It was a lot of that tonight. It was like a lot of chain event type. I liked it. But anyways, Zelina Vega and for one, this segment started off with Piper Niven as they were in what's my man's name? Nick Aldis's office. She asked this man, did he have security clearance? And he said, this is my office. That got a chuckle out of me because it came out of nowhere. But this ended up setting up a tag team match between Zelina Vega and her mystery partner, taking on Piper Niven and Chelsea Green, who lost her USA Women's title last week to Zelina Vega. Now, that match was immediate also. It set the match up, like the segment set the match up, and then, boom, the match was happening. As the match was happening, though, and they were setting up the match, Zelina Vega's husband, I thought that was pretty cool, because that's exactly why this happened like this. Zelina Vega's husband, Aleister Black, who returned, he was talking about Carmelo Hayes and The Miz and how, people, he might not be here to do what people think he's here to do. If you're here to be a babyface, buddy, pretty sure that's what we thought. I don't know why Triple H brought you back to be a babyface and to fuck. I'll get to that in a second, but it was Aleister Black doing his little promo before, and then we get into the match between Zelina Vega. But Zelina Vega's partner is a mystery partner. We don't actually know who her partner is going to be. Then her music hits. It's Alexa motherfucking Bliss. Now, I'm not going to lie. I completely forgot Alexa was on the fucking roster. Because Alexa, it almost feels like they bring her out for one occasion and we don't see her again. But this is one of the reasons. So I'm going to get to it in a second because it involved Alexa Bliss too. But boy, some things happened tonight that really made me happy. So keep in mind these names. Alexa Bliss. I'll get to the other one. I get to them. I'm only going to name the names that I already named. Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest, Alexa Bliss, Fatu, LA Knight. Remember all them names. I know you like, damn, nigga, that's a lot of names. If you white, you didn't just think that N-word, but just stay with me. Alexa Bliss and Chelsea Green ended up winning this match. Now, it's not really it's not really a title scene right now when it comes to the USA Women's Championship. Maybe one is going to start to form. I'm very intrigued to see if one starts to form. But right now, it's not one. And I think that's because they're trying to finish up this Zelina Vega, Chelsea Green thing. Chelsea Green had a lot of people coming for her title because she was a heel. And Chelsea Green did a lot of great things for that title. At this very moment, she is the greatest USA Women's Champion. I think the thing that you have to figure out when it comes to Zelina is all of her enemies and who they will be. And is Zelina a transition champion or is she going to get some months in with this title? I don't really care which one it is, but I haven't seen, like, unless I'm forgetting something, I don't think outside of Piper and her crew, outside of Chelsea Green and her, what do they call them? I don't want to say the crew because it's a name for them. Her security staff. I'm trying to remember who else would be in this title picture. Because Michelle was in it when it came to Chelsea. B-Fab was... I don't think B-Fab was in it. By the way, yo, Keith, I don't know. Is his name Keith Lee? The wrestler? Michelle's husband? That's a lucky nigga, man. You's a lucky man. Michelle fine as hell. I don't know what she been doing over the... I always thought she was a bit attractive. At this very moment, every single week I done seen her since WrestleMania. Really before. She done been fine as hell. What the hell has she been on? She done... Yo. Keith. You gots to be clapping them cheeks. Respectfully. Because there ain't no way I'm sitting at the crib looking at her like, Jesus Christ, Michelle. And you looking at that at the crib. And you not taking action. But that's y'all personal business, bro. Let me stay out of that. Anyways, I'm very intrigued to see how this title picture goes when it comes to them two. But Alexa Bliss and Zelina Vega ended up winning this match. Alexa Bliss hit a Twisted Bliss in this match, and I thought that was going to get the win. I keep forgetting that that's one of her finishers because she done hit the Sister Abigail so many times. That I forget that Twisted Bliss is... I don't even know if you would say that it's not still a finisher because she didn't actually get... Piper didn't... not Piper. Chelsea Green didn't actually jump out of the Twisted Bliss. Piper Niven broke it up. So you could really say Alexa still got two finishers unless I'm just forgetting somebody jumping out of the Twisted Bliss. And I'm not talking about like a big time championship match because that shit happens all the time. We saw Triple H. We saw CM Punk jump out of like 25 fucking finishers. So that means nothing in a title match. Next up, we had a segment in the back where Rey Fenix was coming in and Santos Escobar. They seem to pay a lot of attention to Santos Escobar and the Rey Fenix stuff that was going on tonight and his crew, and they seemingly are making that an important part of the show the last couple weeks. I didn't see the boys this week. I can't even remember their names at the moment. They in the tag team division. They the two, I don't want to call them Fruit Loops. That's what some people would call them, but I know they're not Fruit Loops. That's just the gimmick. I can't remember their names at the moment. I like them, though. They're good in the ring, and they're kind of funny. But that Santos Escobar was talking to Ray, and Ray was like, he was like, you got one thing to say, and Santos was like, who said I had words? And they jumped him in the back, basically, which set up a tag team match later on, which was basically the main event of the show as far as like the last match, because that was the last match of the show. Now, another segment took place after that, but that was technically the last match of the show, which shocked me because I was looking at the show and I was thinking to myself, man, this really the main event? They got a lot of faith in this match, because usually the first match of the last match would have usually have been to close out. Oh, you know what? I see why they did it the way they did it. I get it. After this, well, before or like in the midst of this match, though, it was a cut to the back of Charlotte arguing, because Charlotte came out and had a promo. Oh no, I'm skipping shit. Excuse me. I'm skipping shit. No, I'm not. I'm tripping. So Charlotte, I ain't gonna lie, Charlotte showed up looking good too. I'm like, Jesus Christ. These women was on another level tonight. So Charlotte came into the ring and she was talking to the crowd and saying how basically she the GOAT and how she looked great in the WrestleMania. And so what I'm thinking that's about to happen is they are about to go full in heel for Charlotte. They're not finna do this, she kind of a sympathetic baby face sometimes. They finna go full in heel for Charlotte. Thank God. Because she even said in the promo, like, I want to give credit to somebody in the match, and she gave credit to herself. So, thank God they are about to allow Charlotte to be the best fucking heel in the women's division. However, when she was leaving, because she said if the crowd kept disrespecting her, she was going to leave, which is great crowd work by Charlotte. Knowing that the crowd don't like you, knowing they're going to boo you for whatever weird-ass reasons they don't like you. Oh, they feel like I win too much. So it's a great job using that against, that's a great job using the crowd to her advantage. As she was leaving out, Jade Cargill walked past her again like she did before. And she got in the ring, and as Charlotte was leaving, she told Charlotte, basically, go back to the back of the line. You had your chance, you lost, now go to the back of the line. Now, I like this, women's thing on SmackDown, how all the women basically interact with each other. Nia, Naomi, Tiff, and Jade are clearly the ones in the women's feud right now. Well, you know what? It's a little different because Charlotte is going to be involved with everything, because this is Charlotte fucking Flair. Charlotte is the GOAT. I don't care what nobody say. Charlotte is the greatest women's wrestler of all time, in my opinion. So to not have her basically feel like she is included with everything, to me, would be stupid. You don't use your greatest assets, and you don't have these type of assets and not use them. To me, that would just be fucking stupid. That's why I get annoyed when people get mad at Becky, Bayley, Sasha, or Charlotte getting opportunities, because those are people that you need to build other wrestlers. You can't be great without having those greats be able to build up other greats. And building up other greats ain't just saying, oh, I beat Charlotte. Oh, I beat Bayley. Oh, I beat Becky. See, that's what it feel like Triple H is doing right now. And that's going to be kind of annoying, because to create great stories and great, like at this very moment, I'm not interested in seeing Charlotte versus Jade, even though Charlotte and Jade is damn near a carbon copy of Charlotte. I'm not going to lie. I did not realize it until recently how much Charlotte and Jade remind me of each other. I'm not interested in seeing that feud right now, though, if all Triple H is going to do is run Jade straight through Charlotte. Because if Charlotte, Becky, and Bayley are only here to continuously lose feuds to these younger women and put them over, to me, that's so unrealistic and that's so ridiculous for Triple H to try to treat these women like wrestling is not like, to try to treat them differently than anybody else throughout the history of wrestling had to go through these up and downs throughout wrestling, waiting their turn and having to fight for opportunities and yada. And I'm not saying make these women wait for opportunities, but what I'm saying is just skyrocketing them through the top without giving them meat on the bones, without giving them fat to tell stories and just shooting them right through. To me, that's ridiculous. And I feel like that's what he did with Tiffany. Now, credit to Tiffany because she done got better every week as far as her. Well, I mean, she's still a baby face, but she still talk basically like a heel. She just found a way to flip the heel talk. And I don't know, man. Tiffany's a terrible baby face. The pops come from the fact that the crowd just likes her because they don't like they don't like Charlotte or whoever she feuding with. You know, the real shame right now is that Tiffany's reign is not great. Well, it's not great, but Tiffany is not benefiting or learning how to be a great babyface right now. They just putting her against people who the crowd is clearly going to boo rather than cheer. So, like, putting her against Nia or Charlotte, she's going to get the babyface reaction because the crowd naturally just wants to boo Nia and Charlotte. These are two women who are polarizing for weird ass reasons. None of them have to do with anything that those two have done. I want to see her go up against something. See, it's just so crazy, bro. This is why I say fans ruin wrestling at times, because it wouldn't even be interesting to see her go up against Bianca right now, because the crowd would boo Bianca just because they don't like Bianca for some whatever weird ass reasons. Well, I know the reasons, but to me, it just put wrestling in this weird place, yo. And then when people say, "Oh, I'm only gonna cheer for the young wrestler," like, I just don't like predetermining how you feel about this and that instead of just allowing stories to be told. Like, that is very annoying to me, and it feel like women's wrestling suffers from that more than anything, because white dudes get to get loud about the women they like and don't like, and they blatantly will boo or not do something for the women. And the women, they don't, sometimes some of the women can't get past the ignorance of the crowd the way some of those men can, the way the seasoned men can, or the way because even Charlotte, I done seen Charlotte crack up from the crowds and ignorance at times. Bayley, Becky, like, I done seen all the greats do it. And I've also seen the grown ass men do it too, but for some reason they act like the men have never done it. But like, I don't know, man. I just feel like the crowd do more to hurt women's wrestling. And that's why I think I rock with it so heavy, because for all the shit that they give Charlotte or Becky or Naomi or Nia, bro, them motherfuckers still go out there and perform, because Nia and Jade had a fucking match. I remember people was hating on Jade going into WrestleMania. Her and Nia just had a great fucking match. And I can't say enough about Nia, man. Nia just wrestled a match where she basically was the little dog. Like, she basically just wrestled this match and Jade felt like she was the big dog the entire match. Not to mention, Jade looks fucking amazing. I don't know how, and this is why I said I hope that they put Jade in legit stories, great feuds, and don't just have her win every match just because she young and new and yada yada. Jade could be, okay, so I don't know. Jade could be up there with the greats. Just put it like that. She could be up there with the Charlottes, the Beckys, the Biancas, the Sashas. She could be up there with them. Nia's, like, her and Nia, that match that they just, was that my favorite match of the night? Yes, that was my favorite match of the night. And I love that they got that time to do all of that. I do wish Nia would change her finisher now from the Annihilator, because it no longer looks as dangerous or as devastating as I wish it did look from when she first. Like I remember when she hit Lyra Valkyrie with that shit. That shit looked devastating. Like that shit was everywhere on social media. And for some reason, because Nia is a phenomenal worker who wants to protect her peers and the complainers online, the move just don't look like it used to look. So I want to see her. I just want people to remember that Yokozuna fat ass was doing that shit to people back in the day. Yokozuna. Now I know some of you might be too young to know who Yokozuna is. Just go look him up. Anyways, that was a great match. That all the way through. Now Naomi fucked him up at the end because, and I said to myself, I wonder is Naomi gonna come in this match and attack Jade and cost Nia basically. No, she did not. I like the little twist of her basically going and attacking Tiffany and Jade being so distracted by it that Nia ends up winning. And I like it's too great. This is where I gotta talk now. Or really get into this. Because I did not want Charlotte to get involved with this feud, basically. So the thing that Jade did with her earlier, I want Charlotte to remember it, but I don't want Charlotte to act on it right now. So I was praying that Charlotte did not come out there and cost Jade this match somehow. I didn't want Jade to win this match because I thought the immediate story that could finish being told is Nia Tiffany. I thought to ignore Tiffany Nia would be, I just didn't think that would be the right decision. And Jade is so young with so much, Jade got a lot that she can do right now. It's a lot of stories out there. Not even a lot of stories. It's a specific story out there right now that can, Jade is still very much involved in that. Still, that's why I like it, because it's a branch. It's branching off. They don't have to do Jade Naomi every single fucking week. This type of thing with Jade fighting Nia and moving in, and Naomi still doing this. This is perfect. This is like wrestling that I watched growing up back in the day. This is great storytelling, in my opinion. This is how you move shit along and not force them to fight each other every week, like on these dumbass WWE games where where you feud with somebody, so they got you fighting that person every fucking week, leading into the pay-per-view. Like, what? It makes no sense. Why am I fighting this nigga every week? But, anyways, this match, I would implore you to go back and watch it. There was a lot of great things that happened in this match. Jade, this is why I don't like watching Damian Priest, bro. Because go watch Jade. She wrestles. She has a tall, athletic women's moveset. So she hit a night. Her and Charlotte actually wrestle to their size, bro. Damian Priest wrestles so under his size, bro. Have you ever seen Matt Morgan, the Blueprint? Every time I watch Damian Priest, I think to myself, Matt Morgan couldn't get over, but this nigga can? Like, anyways, what made me very happy was that this match ended, or all of the conclusion had to do with Naomi, not Charlotte. And after this match, as Charlotte was leaving, telling Nick Aldis, like, bro, I'm the GOAT. I don't got to take this disrespect. And Nick Aldis saying, hey, Nick, you watch the way you talk to Charlotte, bro. Let me tell you something. Nick. I don't catch cases for white women, but for Charlotte, I might be willing to risk it all, yo. I'm sick and tired of how you talk. For one, I'm sick and tired of how people talk to Charlotte and talk about her online. But Nick Aldis, my nigga, do not disrespect your queen, my guy. For one, for you to tell her that she was throwing a tantrum, Nikki, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I want Randy to hit your ass with another RKO, but he currently got his sights set on something else. But you watch your back. Anyways, as Charlotte was heading to get in her car, The door slammed closed. Now, I thought somebody was in the car and slammed the door on her. But then they moved the camera, and it was Alexa Bliss who told Charlotte, let's talk. This made my fucking night. Charlotte and Alexa Bliss basically getting back on TV regularly makes me so happy. Not just because I watched both of them growing up, and I'm only 31, so I don't want people thinking I'm like 52 or something crazy. So they're like, oh, this old nigga watched them growing up. No. They would just, before all of these talented women were on the roster now, the handful of talented women we had, Charlotte and Alexa Bliss, were big time. To see both of them finally get back, because that segment made me believe that we're going to see both of them on TV regularly now. And I would love to see Charlotte and Alexa Bliss team up to do whatever it is they may need to do. Because really what I want to see is if Alexa and Charlotte starting at the bottom is not a real thing for a Charlotte or an Alexa Bliss. Because if you make them go battle for the say you want those two to go battle for the tag team titles. That's not a demotion. That is legitimately both of them turning the tag team titles into an important title. That's what you do for the titles when you want to put relevancy on them. You go put those type of talents in the title pictures. So if this turns into Alexa Bliss and plus I've been wanting Alexa Bliss to get so far away from that character that she was with Bray Wyatt for so long. Like, I'm ready for her to get away from that and become a different Alexa Bliss again, because Alexa Bliss is an ultra talent who has for some reason been stuck in this gimmick. I don't even think by her own choosing it anymore. I think the fans won't let it go and let her grow into another character. And I do believe Alexa Bliss is appreciative of how this character basically got her career back going again. But Alexa Bliss is Alexa Bliss. Her career was going to always get back going again because she's an ultra talent. Her and Charlotte connecting, though, and I'm praying that they can stay healthy and be great again. Because, well, they're going to be great regardless. I just pray that they stay healthy because women's wrestling will always be better because of two women like Charlotte and Alexa Bliss. The way that they can talk on the mic, the way they can carry a feud and understand how to work a feud, knowing that those two will be regulars on SmackDown and they are in the plans makes me so very happy. Because it goes along with the men earlier tonight. The way I said that they basically reset those feuds by tying all of them together and making it a big old jambalaya basically. So now it's so many different. This is what makes, to me, the weekly viewing, the weekly shows great. Because you're not just having random ass new feuds start up every week. You adding layers, branches to already existing feuds. And you taking greats of the game Drew McIntyre is only going to make things better if he is in a feud, but you can't keep putting him in these same old feuds that's basically feel like same old. Now we changing things up. We having wrestlers work with different type of wrestlers. We having them create different type of feuds and memories, and it's all seemingly starting to work. I've been wanting Charlotte and Alexa Bliss to work on some shit together for so long, and now that is about to happen. I'm ecstatic. I can't wait to see where this goes. I can't wait to see where this Nia, Naomi, Tiffany, and Jade go. I mean, all of, and then imagine Bianca is still gonna come back eventually. SmackDown is in a great place right now, unless the draft fuck it all up. I don't even remember when the draft happened, but the draft could fuck this all up. Now next, we had a little goofy ass segment by Michelle and B-Fab in the back. I wish they had wrote that segment a little differently because that segment just didn't feel authentic at all. But I just want to know how they would have talked to each other if the cameras wasn't going, because I don't know what they would have said to each other that was so crazy that they couldn't have talked like that to each other for that segment, because that segment just seemed so unrealistic on how Michelle and B-Fab was talking. And I get that you want them to be their characters, but they can be their characters and talk regularly like they would have. I don't know. That was weird. But anyways, the Profits ended up going to the ring, cutting a promo. The crowd really didn't give them too much of a reaction that they were trying to give, which is another thing that annoys me with the crowd, because, you know, this fickleness of off and on reactions that they decide to give the crowd, the wrestlers. But it basically led to Faxium coming out and talking and getting themselves a match. Now, Faxium, this was a great match, but the announcers basically told you throughout the entire match, Tez, the Prophet, should not be in this match. They are not, Dawkins and Ford are not healthy. They just got out of a TLC match a couple weeks ago. They should not be in this match. I don't know how this nigga Nick Aldis booked this match like this. This is crazy levels of incompetence. Triple H, you just let this type shit go on in your company, bruh? Unreal. I see why Chelsea Green always trying to file grievances with you now, Nikki. You disrespected my queen. You disrespected Chelsea Green because you probably didn't have clearance to be in that office now that I think about it. And then you put the Profits in a match like this? That's crazy. But Faxium did end up winning this match. Now, the good thing that happened after this match, or the thing that made me laugh, was when Faxium was in the back talking to Motor City Machine Guns, they got attacked by DIY. And Ciampa, this man is fucking hilarious. Ciampa says, you did not just beat them. You took advantage of a injured team. That is what cowards do. I fucking love heel DIY. Ciampa is a fucking... This nigga is hilarious. Some dudes just get it, bro. Some dudes just get it. When he told this man that you took advantage of dudes who just got out of a TLC match, you are cowards. That is what cowards do. I said, man, this motherfucker is spitting. I agree with every word he said. Now, like I said, the last match of the night to close out the night was Santos Escobar. No, it wasn't Santos Escobar. Yes, it was. Wait a minute. It was Ray Phoenix, and he teamed up. I for some reason, I just completely forgot who he teamed up with to take on Los Spartus. I can't remember how you pronounce the name. Does not matter. Los Spartus lost. And what ended up happening at the end of this match, because I'm starting to realize, he teamed up with my man's Andrade. Now they ended up winning this match. And I'm starting to see that this, I don't know that this feud ever mattered, because I'm starting to realize that this, I guess, because at first I thought that this feud was going to mean something. Like, I thought Andrade was trying to get all of the Mexican-born wrestlers together or something. Now I'm starting to see that I think this was just breaking up Santos and his crew, because Santos was yelling at his crew after they lost, and then his crew turned on him basically, like, man, fuck out my face, yelling at me and shit like that. So I guess this feud was just to break them up. I feel like I might be missing something, because it's no way that was the last match of the night just for that to happen. And it's no way just because Ray Phoenix was in that match, that's why that happened. So I'm going to be honest. I think that I did not see something that I was supposed to see, or I'm not analyzing something properly. So I'll just get back to that when I drop the next review Friday, because I think I'm supposed to pick something up that I just wasn't paying attention to when it comes to that. But the last segment of the night was John Cena coming out to talk to the crowd, and he cut a promo where he basically talked about Randy Orton, and Randy Orton being the best at being a screw up and being a fuck up and wasting potential, and I'm the GOAT because I embody, I am loyalty, I am respect. And It ended with Randy Orton RKOing him, as I imagine. First, fake person RKO'd him, tried to RKO him, and he hit him with a FU or attitude adjustment, which was funny because I was like, nigga, that is not Randy Orton, bro. What the hell? And then Randy Orton did come out and hit him with an RKO. Now, what's interesting to me is if that individual who was the fake Randy Orton, was that R-Truth? I don't think it was, but it would have been hilarious if it was. I want to see if R-Truth plays some type of role in John Cena being a heel. Like if we get a heel R-Truth, I never forget when he looked at Triple H and said, "You're crazy. You're saying things that's not there." That shit will never not be funny, bro, when he was talking to Triple H after he was wilded out. That shit will never not be funny. When he was walking to the ring and he cut his heel wrap. When him and The Miz was heels. Listen. Some would say R-Truth's best work. Well, a nerd would tell you his best work was in TNA. But I hate it when I'm not talking about TNA, bro. If you ask me AJ's best work in WWE and I say TNA, smack the shit out of me. Listen, I think R-Truth's best work in WWE is his heel work. I'm telling you. If that nigga go heel for John Cena, imagine R-Truth and John Cena drop a diss track. And I said on one of my wrestling reviews before Mania that it would be hilarious if John Cena won that title because he got to have something coming up in Hollywood soon. And would you look at that? I saw a piece, what is his name? Peacemaker? I saw a Peacemaker commercial trailer today. Wait a minute. Is it a trailer if it's a movie and a commercial if it's a show? Or is it a trailer even if it's a show and a movie? I don't know. But I appreciate you for joining me on another episode of Wrestling with Saint. Friday Night Smackdown recap. I enjoyed it. Tell somebody you fuck with them. Tell somebody you love them. You can be anything in this world. So choose to be kind to somebody today. Like, subscribe, share, tell a friend and tell a friend. I appreciate you. I fuck with you. I love you. Until next time, Saint out.
You don't understand what's happening here. I'm in God mode nowadays, son. I'm the tribal chief. I'm the head of your table. I'm the provider around here, huh? I'm the greatest of this generation. No questions asked. I'm the greatest universal champion of all time, which makes me the greatest to ever do this.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home. Tight.